Other recommended treatments include over-the-counter medications like Zyrtec, Allegra, and Claritin. A nasal rinse can also work well to flush your sinuses of allergens. If none of that works, you may want to talk to your doctor about allergy shots. Researchers tracked nearly 4,000 thyroid cancer survivors. They found men were 50% more likely to develop cardiovascular disease within 5 years than women. Patients who were obese had a 41% higher risk. Experts say thyroid cancer survivors should be closely monitored and undergo regular screenings for heart disease. There's no cure or effective treatment for AFM right now, and it can be fatal, but rehab can help those children regain some strength and function in their limbs. For long-term weight loss, shedding pounds slowly and consistently appears to be best. Researchers followed nearly 200 adults for a year. All were overweight in the same weight loss program. Lee, there are now 30 confirmed cases of measles in the Pacific Northwest. That's not including 9 more suspected in Clark County, Washington. Health officials confirmed the congregation at the God Will Provide Church in Vancouver, Washington was exposed last Friday from 7 to 11 p.m. In addition to the church, people may have been exposed at the Portland airport, various schools, healthcare facilities, businesses, including IKEA in Portland, and the Moda Center for the Blazers game on the 11th. Many Brazilian women avoided pregnancy the year after the Zika epidemic. Harvard researchers looked at birth rates in Brazil from September of 2015. There were nearly 120,000 fewer births than expected during this time, with no changes in fetal deaths. These findings suggest many couples postponed pregnancy due to the fears of Zika-related birth defects. Nearly half of children born to teen moms in foster care also end up in protective custody. A new Canadian study tracks 6,000 girls who gave birth while in foster care. 1/4 of the moms had their children taken into custody within a week. And by the age of 2, 29% of these children were in foster care. A new study suggests stronger alcohol policies may save lives. Researchers from Boston Medical Center looked at state drunk driving laws and taxes on alcohol sales. The ongoing measles outbreak is not showing any signs of letting up anytime soon. As of Friday, there have been 704 cases in 22 states, and the majority are kids who have not been vaccinated. This is the highest number of cases in 25 years, and the numbers expected to rise. Experts say measles is so contagious an infected person can spread the disease for several days before they even develop a rash. You're urged to speak to your doctor if you're not sure if you received both doses of the MMR vaccine. President Trump has signed 2 bills into law aimed at informing consumers about drug prices. The measures would end the so-called gag orders that the pharmaceutical industry have placed on pharmacists, which prevent them from discussing cheaper price options with consumers. The president called the gag clauses unjust. He says more regulatory action to reduce drug prices is expected in the coming month. Today is World Mental Health Day. The goal is to raise awareness about mental health issues and discuss expanding access to care for people who are struggling. The World Health Organization reports half of all mental illness begins by age 14, but most cases go undetected and untreated. According to the WHO, suicide is the second leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds. Depression, addiction, and eating disorders are also of particular concern. If you or a loved one is feeling depressed or would like to learn more about mental health, we have a page on our website called Let's Talk. If you need help or resources in our community, it's there for you. One Michigan doctor spent long hours at the hospital caring for his patients, but when it came to his own health, he wasn't as diligent. And Dr. Frank McGeorge reports it could have cost him his life. Some patients with an aggressive form of brain cancer have been able to live years longer than expected because of a clinical trial happening at Duke University. Researchers are injecting a modified form of the polio virus into brain tumors. All of the 61 patients in the study had stage 4 gliomas and were not expected to survive more than a year or 2. The team used a weakened and modified form of the virus, injecting it directly into the tumor. The idea was that the virus would kill the tumor cells. It helped about 20% of patients live at least 3 years after diagnosis, One patient has survived. The Food and Drug Administration says some so-called stem cell clinics are preying on sick and vulnerable patients. The agency has announced it's cracking down on those such clinics that offer treatments for diseases without any evidence they work. In some cases, the FDA says those bogus treatments are dangerous. Regulators raided a San Diego-based clinic and seized vials of smallpox vaccine, which had been used on cancer patients. And a Florida clinic was issued a warning letter from injecting stem cells derived from fat into patients to treat heart disease. Infants should receive their first dose of hepatitis B vaccine within 24 hours of birth. That's according to newly released guidelines from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Previously, there was an option to delay the hepatitis B vaccine until a newborn's first checkup, but now doctors say sooner is better. Hepatitis B, which is spread from mother to baby during birth, can lead to liver damage and liver failure. Signing up for health insurance under the government's marketplace exchange is going on right now, but you have less time to make a decision for coverage in 2018 than you did last year. The signing up period ends December 15th. A rare cancer in patients with breast implants may be on the rise, and not all patients and physicians may be aware of the risks. Aggressively treating gum disease may help lower your blood pressure. Researchers looked at more than 100 adults with moderate to severe gum disease. Half received intensive treatment for gum disease and half received a standard treatment. 3 months later, the intensive group's top blood pressure number was 8 points lower, and the bottom number was 4 points lower. The team believes lowering inflammation in the body could be linked to the blood pressure drop. Double dippers, listen up. You're responsible for the spread of bacteria. Now, not all germs are dangerous, but these critters are everywhere, including on our food. You can avoid adding more germs to your food by ending any bad food habits.